If you clicked on this video, it's probably because you're stuck in a situation where you know that you're not being treated right, or you know that someone is taking advantage of you and you are not able to take a stand for yourself. At first, it may seem like this is a problem of lack of confidence, but it actually points towards low self-worth. In today's video, we are going to break down what it means to have high self-worth and how to behave like a person who truly understands their value. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Tanya and I help people understand themselves better so that they can find clarity, confidence and purpose. So recently, I saw a very close friend of mine go through a particularly challenging situation. She is brilliant in her work, extremely kind, talented, hardworking. Every single year during the appraisal cycle, I've seen her downplay her contribution in the success of the team. She's constantly doubting herself or worrying what the person in front of her might think of her if she asks for more. It's been years that she's stuck in the same role. Even though everyone knows how amazing she is, the reason why she's stuck is because people are very comfortable taking advantage of you not being able to stand for yourself. And this may apply not just to your professional life, even in your personal life, your friendships or your relationships or with family. This is where the concept of self-worth comes into the picture. Now, the word by itself is pretty vague. We use self-esteem, confidence, and self-worth quite interchangeably. But there's a very distinct difference between them. Self-esteem is basically how you judge yourself based on your actions. In situations where your actions are not pleasing the other person or you're failing at a certain task, how do you look at yourself? How do you judge yourself? Do you think yourself as not good enough, or you see it as I know what I'm worth? That is what self-esteem decides. Confidence, on the other hand, is completely different. It is something that you can build with repetition and experience. It's basically your belief in your capabilities in a particular skill. For example, as a marketer, I may be very good at creating strategies, but I'm not very good at conveying it. I have confidence in my strategies, I have confidence in my work, and the way I convey it to the audience or the way I convey it to my peers can be built upon, and that confidence will come the more I practice it. Self-worth is the foundation on which self-esteem and confidence depend. It's about understanding that you deserve love, respect, and good things simply because you exist. It doesn't depend on achievements, appearance, or what others think of you. It's an unconditional core sense of value. So a person with high self-worth values themselves deeply, and it can positively impact your self-esteem and make you more resilient, even in situations where your confidence is not that good at a particular skill. Usually when people talk about building self-worth, they suggest starting from the inside, digging deep, challenging beliefs, and then finally taking action. But we are going to flip this. Instead of waiting till you feel completely secure, you're going to try something new. You'll start acting like a person with high self-worth right now, today. So the idea is to make your mind and body experience what it feels to respect and value yourself. The more you practice this, the more comfortable you become, until eventually it starts to feel real. Let's start with a small but powerful step: setting boundaries. Picture someone with high self-worth. They say no when something doesn't serve them without guilt or needing to explain themselves. They know their time is valuable, so they don't overextend themselves to please others. Now imagine you start doing the same thing, a little bit at a time. Maybe when you're asked to take on an extra task, when you're already burnt out, you can say, no, I can't take that right now. By taking the small step, you're telling yourself that your needs and limits matter. You're teaching your mind that you're worthy of protecting your time and energy. Over time, your brain learns to respect these boundaries as natural, just like someone with high self-worth would. Another behavior of high self-worth is kindness in your self-talk. You know that little voice in your head that sometimes gets critical when things go wrong? Someone with high self-worth knows how to respond to that voice with compassion, not criticism. So the next time you make a mistake, try responding gently, like you're talking to a friend. Instead of saying, I messed up, I'm so bad at this, try saying, it's okay, it did not go that well, But I'm learning, and that's all that matters. Now, I know at first this might feel odd, even forced, but by repeating these kind words to yourself, you're training your brain to approach you with respect and understanding, just like you would approach a person that you care about. Slowly, you'll begin to feel that you're worthy of kindness, even from yourself. So very recently, I encountered speaking to a very rude lady in public space. I'm a soft-spoken person. I cannot raise my voice, but I also understood that the way she was behaving was wrong. The way she was talking was absolutely inappropriate. At first, I stayed silent for the longest time. But then I thought, in the same situation, if my best friend was there and this lady was behaving that way with my best friend, and I would have talked back. And that's where I had to remind myself of my word. And I took a stand, very gently, no aggression, but just simply saying that, listen, I have not done anything wrong. You need to tone down yourself. You either calm down and talk to me with respect, or I'm walking out of this conversation. That simply saying that made that woman calm down because she had not heard me speaking or going against her for a very long time. Sometimes people confuse your soft spokenness or kindness with weakness, but in those situations, it's your duty to teach them or remind them how they should treat you. If you don't, they'll just keep getting more and more comfortable disrespecting you. And then there's something as simple as taking compliments. Think about how many times you just brush off praise like, oh, it was nothing, or anyone could have done it. People who really understand how valuable they are will never do that. They accept compliments as a genuine reflection of their worth. So the next time someone gives you a compliment or says a nice thing to you, take a moment to pause and say thank you. No need to explain yourself, no need to downplay yourself. When you allow yourself to feel good about positive recognition, you're telling yourself that you deserve it. Little by little, this reinforces to your mind that you're someone worthy of appreciation. And here's one more: body language. Picture a person who stands confidently, shoulders relaxed, and makes comfortable eye contact when they talk. These subtle shifts in posture might seem small, but they send a very powerful signal to your brain. When you stand a little taller, your mind starts to believe that you're allowed to take up space. It's a physical way of saying, I belong here, just as much as anyone else. The more you do this, the more your mind starts to recognize this as a natural state. Now, at first, these actions might feel a little unnatural or even uncomfortable. But remember, they're like little messages that you're sending to yourself. With each boundary you set, each kind word you say to yourself, each compliment you accept, and each confident stance, you're teaching your brain to see you as someone with high self-worth. Bit by bit, you're building the belief that you are deserving of kindness, of respect, and space. So instead of waiting for your sense of self-worth to magically arise from within, start behaving like a person who understands their value. If you're worried about what people would think if you suddenly behave different or confuse them, trust me, it's fine. In fact, it's a very good problem to have. It will make them reconsider how to behave with you. Even if you're faking it today, it will become a reflection of the real you in the next few days. So start today and see how far it goes. I hope this video gives you some hope, especially if you're exhausted of people taking advantage of your kindness. And if you want to learn more about how to build a happier, stronger you, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next Thursday. Bye.